Three, two, one. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today it's another League One show, episode 2. Joined here with Harry Brummy on tour again. How are you, mate?
Not too bad, mate. Absolutely buzzing in terms of Burton Albion results. Obviously, we'll come on to that. And to be fair, you guys not doing too bad considering the circumstances. So, yeah.
Yeah, good results for both teams. And joined here with Zach. How are you, mate?
I'm not bad, thank you very much, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks.
Good,
So,
good.
before we go on to the games that happened last night, we're going to come on to Burton Albion's and Vale's games that happened last week on Saturday. So we'll start with Luton Burton 1-1. Fabio Tavares 92nd minute winner, equaliser. Sorry. You went to the game, Harry. I would just sum up the performance.
Well, even before the game, I warned Luton fans all week in terms of content I did personally over on my channel that do not underestimate Burton Albion. And we will get something from the game. I actually thought we'd win like 3-1 or something like that. That was my score prediction coming into the game. They had obviously that poor loss against Wigan, which I thought they would lose. And they're low on confidence. Obviously, first half, we started the game really well. And then unfortunately, some sloppy defending from Toby Civic and Hartridge meant that Naki Wells opened the scoring for Luton. And he's got a lot of stick this season from Luton fans. But he was actually really good in this game, to be fair. One of the only real Luton players that could come out of that game with any credit, really. So obviously he scored in the first half. Not too much happened in the first half. Like I say, we had some good bit of play. And unfortunately, our passing was really poor. And if it wasn't poor, we probably could have been level at the break. There's a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, where Tyree Shade I was in really good positions, but the passes to him were just poor.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously one at the break, going in the second half. And in the second half, quite early on, Bowyer brings Andy Cannon on, and he was unbelievable. Absolutely brilliant. He changed the game in terms of when he come on with free kicks and corners. You could see the difference in quality compared to like George Evans, the other Burton Albion's centre midfielder. Obviously, Cannon's more of a cam type of player. But yeah, it was brilliant. And then obviously bought Fabio Tavares and Kane Dom on. And Tavares had a lot of stick this season from fans. People haven't been greatly impressed with his performances. And I get it. But at the same time, he hasn't really properly had a proper chance, and he could have left at the end of the transfer window. That's the craziest thing about it. There was a lot of rumours in the last few days and on deadline day that he might not even be here, whether that was on loan at another club the rest of the season or a permanent transfer. So yeah, it was brilliant. It really was, and absolute bedlam, absolute limbs. And funny enough, the day before the game on the Friday, I went to the club shop in the morning at 10:30 in the morning. 15 minutes before I got there, they actually released a signed Tavares shirt with like proof of authentication certificate as well as, and it was around 100 quid. I was umming and ahhing whether to get it because I weren't sure he was even going to possibly even play much for the rest of the season. And I thought, you know what, just stuff it, let's get it. But what I will say is I did not expect him to come on and get the equaliser at Luton. But it was an absolute limbs. And Godwin Malife, wow. Like, he's one of my favourite Burton players out of 2. So obviously Godwin Malife is one and Tyree Shade is another. But Godwin Malife is man of the match in this game by an absolute mile. The assist for the goal for Tavares, he could easily had a shot, and he has composure. He takes it past the 2 Luton defenders that mess up, and he whips it in to Tavares, who easily gets past Isaiah Jones. Luton players all over the place, and Tavares more or less a free header and absolute limbs. Honestly, in terms of that signed shirt, the away day as a whole, with what happened the weekend, with me talking to like a couple of the players, all my social media erupting and everything. Yeah, that was by far my favourite ever away day I've ever done, and it'll be hard to ever top that. So yeah, a very good point. One where in the second half as well, we could have easily won. After Luton scored in the first half, they didn't do anything really at all, and they were poor. So yeah, it was a great point on the road, and it tops off a very good win before that game, obviously against Rotherham. So yeah, at that stage, obviously we'll come on to it a bit later. Obviously, we had one last night as well, recording the day after on Wednesday from Tuesday night's games. But yeah, in terms of after Luton, 4 points from those two games from Rotherham and Luton, that was very good. So yeah, brilliant point, and up the Brewers.
Yeah, as you say, obviously, massive point for Birmingham in terms of that relegation scrap. If we just have a look really quickly, that win against Rotherham, and now, and that point against Luton, and now the Stockport game as well. I mean, that's put you in a decent position in 17th. You know, still 5 points from the drop, but you know you're building momentum now. You're building confidence, and I think taking each game as it is now. And as I did say in the last episode, I think a minimum of 45 points would make is the borderline to stay up in the league. I think if you get 50 points, then I think you are confirmed to stay up. But to be honest, I'm really not sure with how the table looks currently, with, as I say, 13th, 14th below and onwards could all be in that bottom four come end of the season. So important, a very important last few games for the Brewers.
Yeah. I mean, it's
So
like I said, sorry to mate, but it's like I said to you in the first episode that obviously we did last week. Like Burton Albion are in a false position. Like we know, we had all those injuries 12 to 14 months. That never happened for that 12 to 14 players for those 2.5 months or so. We wouldn't even be in this position. Well, I think the way the table is now makes it look a lot better. But even then, I think we'd be probably like 13th, 14th right now.
yeah,
I'll be honest, if it weren't for all them. And I did look at the table when I got back late last night from the game, and obviously we have moved up even more places since that game, which we'll come on to after we spoke about Vale's game. But yeah, it just shows that this time last season we weren't too far off the points total. So the points total we finished off with at the end of last season, we aren't actually too far off it at all now. So I think that shows the improvement and the credit that's got to be given to Gary Bowyer as the Burton Albion manager as well.
yeah, 100% agree. And I do hope Burton stay up as well. Good club, good, well-run club. So yeah, moving on to Vale's game v Reading. I thought in terms of the quality, there wasn't that much quality in the game. I thought we showed lots of fight, but there wasn't much quality. I thought the first half, Reading, they controlled the game, controlled the ball, didn't have too many clear-cut opportunities. Obviously got that penalty, controversial. I think it were 50-50, as we
Yeah,
haven't really
definitely.
seen it in detail. And Zach will bring you in just a sec. But obviously that 96th minute winner from Martin Sheriff rescued us a point. And I think now, as like Burton, we are starting to, build some momentum, build some confidence. We're going into the weekend playing Luton, who are really low in confidence. So I think I'm really happy we're playing them currently, because I think they aren't doing well at all. So it is a good time to play them. Zach, what are your thoughts on the Vale Reading game?
To be honest, first half, Reading were decent, which
Yeah,
is my opinion.
yeah,
But second half, I think they were a bit awful.
yeah. They weren't as good.
No,
I
we
think,
deserved the goal in the second half against Reading.
Yeah, I think we showed a lot of fight, and I think they kind of sat back a little bit, and we did get those opportunities, and I thought a point was a fair result. But yeah, there was scenes in the home end,
Yeah,
wasn't there, Zach? Definitely.
definitely.
So yeah, good point. And then obviously we wanted to build on that point. So then we move on to the Northampton Vale game, and yeah, we have starting to build momentum now. A great 1-0 win. Um, it was it was a really low quality match. I mean, both teams were absolutely terrible. I mean, I can't believe how bad Northampton were. I mean, we weren't good, but I thought they were awful, especially go in front of goals as well. They didn't seem to have a shot on target the whole game. Um, I thought we got a couple of chances, but that was about it. I thought in the second half we just really sat back, and we didn't look like we get a second goal. But I think we defended really well, and there were some standout performances like Kyle John, Connor Hall, who were really good at the back, and Jaden Stockley, even though he plays up top, putting in a really good defensive performance from set pieces. I know, Zach, you only watched the first half,
Yeah.
but what were your thoughts on that first half?
Well, and in fact, they all were equal, like great shots. And my opinion was that if I watched the full game with you, mates,
Yeah.
I would say they were better.
I think we did slightly edge it in the first half. I think, but in the second half, I think they controlled the flow of the game, but they didn't have any clear cut opportunities in that second half at all. I thought they had one in the whole game, which was in the first half, but apart from that, I think that they were very poor going forward. And even their striker, who came off around 70th minute, got cheered, which is always not a good sign if players get cheered coming off. Um, and yeah, Northampton do not look a good team, and I'm worried for Northampton, to be honest. So before we go on to the Brewers game, we'll go on to the Bradford Rotherham game. Um, Obviously, Harry, you said Rotherham were the worst team in the league. Um, and I'm guessing you still stand by that. Um, a 1-0 win, was this more expected? Did you think, they maybe could have got a few more goals? What were your thoughts on it?
I mean, if you said to me before the game what I thought in terms of the score prediction, I would have at least thought, at least at the minimum, for Bradford a 2-0 win. But realistically, like if I would have said anything, I would have said 3-0, maybe even
Yeah.
4-0. So in a way, obviously, I'll be honest, didn't watch the game. I ain't seen the highlights or anything like that. But in terms of looking at it as an outsider overall, like, at least Bradford got the job done. And
Yeah.
obviously, we'll come on to the Stockport Burton game in a minute. But Burton have just really helped Bradford out big time. And they got over the line against Rotherham. So, yeah, it's one of them. And, yeah, Rotherham will stand by it, regardless if it was only 1-0 or whatever the scoreline would have been. They're still the worst team in the league for me.
Yeah.
And I still do. I still think they'll come rock bottom. I don't think you guys will finish rock bottom. Like I said last week on the first episode, I just can't see it. I just think Rotherham is shocking. And the big difference for me was obviously we played you guys recently, and them. And the big difference for me, what I saw was in your side there was fight there, and we had to come down twice in that game to get the draw in the end. So yeah, even Northampton. I think Northampton and Rotherham are destined. Unfortunately, I do think you guys are as well. However, obviously, when you guys were talking about obviously Vale's game that you're talking about, I was looking at the table on my phone, and you're actually only 10 points off safety, maybe 11 potentially in terms of goal difference. So again, like I said, like I thought last week, I thought your chances were dead or buried. Maybe a little bit of slight hope has opened the doors again because I can't just rule it out in terms of look what Burton did last season, where we stayed up. So you never know, anything can happen in football. Maybe that gives you a glimmer of hope, but yeah, in terms of Rotherham, yeah, they're just woeful, aren't they? Sam Nombe
Yeah,
FC, that's probably their names, mate. Honestly,
yeah. I think obviously the past couple of Vale games, I think fans do have hope now at least. And I think, as I say, coming on to the business end of the season, well, saying 14, 15 games for Vale. It's if the gap gets bigger, then obviously we'll just run out of games and then we'll be down. So I think it is just about taking each game as it comes, and getting points from it, fighting. It doesn't have to be a good performance. Just need to fight and get the job done, really. But I think that'll give us a massive boost going into the out of form Luton. Sorry.
yeah.
Now we are going to come on to the Burton Albion game. A comfortable win, would you say? 3-0 win over Stockport, who are still in a good position. Looking a bit inconsistent though. But what are your thoughts on that game?
I mean, to put it bluntly, to start off with, Stockport offered us absolutely nothing all game. They had probably one real half decent chance where when we were 3-0 up, they got sort of in behind and then it was straight at Brad Collins. Though. Honestly, they were awful. I couldn't believe how bad they were. But at the same time, I think it's just because of how we played as well. We made them look awful. We're
Yeah,
brilliant. Tyree Shade, wow, I can't speak of him highly enough. He's unbelievable. He really is. Destined for the championship in the summer. I really
yeah,
do somehow hope we can keep everybody. I'm destined to lose in Webster, and I'll be honest, I love Webster and everything. But in terms of ones that would really make me emotional in the summer that would leave, like who I have a real close bond with, Tyree Shade and Godwin Malife, if those two leave, I'll be really upset. I can't lie. I was even like on the to wait to meet my mum earlier this morning, and obviously I met the players after the game last night, and some of them, and obviously Tyree Shade and Godwin Malife being two of them. And I was just thinking about, I've not really Shade, but Godwin Malife especially, he's done a lot for me recently in terms of giving his time to me, and I was getting a bit emotional when I was travelling to my mum, just thinking about it today. So yeah, I hate to imagine how that's going to be the summer if either of them two do go. But great performance all round. Dokes, real captain, leader. Okay, Godwin Malife, real captain's performance yet again. Shade, sensational Shade again as well. The whole team, brilliant. I just can't quite believe it, really. I mean, obviously, we do have beat the bigger teams this season, and it's frustrating because, again, like I say, we did have all those injuries for a long period of time. But imagine if we beat all like the mid-table sides to lower end sides as well as the bigger ones, we'd be right up there. And honestly, I genuinely believe Burton Albion, we are on the rise again. I've said it after the Luton game, we are on the rise again, and I stood by it last night as well. I said at the end of my vlog video where my reaction where I said, mark my words, next season we can keep our players, like I said after Luton game in the summer, if we could keep them all. Maybe, like I say, barring Webster, I didn't actually say that, but barring Webster, we showed we could actually play without him. So, if we can keep Shade, Malife, Kegs Chalk, a lot of the others, then yeah, and add to it, I think we'd be a real force next season. But yeah, great win. Unbelievable Tyree Shea, George Evans as well. Give him a bit of stick this season, and he come up with a really good goal in that game as well. So yeah, all round great performances from all the players. I'm absolutely buzzing, mate. I can't lie, and I think, to be honest, if I'm not even being biased, I think obviously we played Rotherham last Tuesday, and to now, obviously, we beat Rotherham, drew at Luton, and obviously beat Stockport the way we did. I'm genuinely not even just saying this. I genuinely think we probably are the EFL team in the last week in terms of the results and what we've done. That was a crunch game against Rotherham. We had to win it. to go to Kenilworth Road, where again possibly the players would have been knackered. Playing obviously the West Ham game a couple of days after the Rotherham, and even then, only about 3 or 4 days after we were away at Luton, and then again on last night against Stockport, only about 3 days or so after the Luton game. So just credit to Gary Bowie, it really is. What a manager he is, done wonders for Burton Albion Football Club, our club, and I say it all the time, but yeah, just crazy, it really is. But brilliant 3 results in the last week or so.
Yeah, as I say, obviously Burton, as I agree, I think you are on the rise, and I think potentially you are in a false position. Let's say if you win on Saturday, then I mean you could be, 13th, 14th, pushing that mid-table, and potentially you could get a mid-table finish, which would be a brilliant achievement for Burton, as obviously the past few seasons you have been always in that relegation scrap. So I think it'd be a really big achievement. And if we just have a look at the upcoming games for Burton, you've got Wickham away coming up. I think that's a game that you can go and at least get a point out of. Exeter's definitely winnable. Stevenage, very inconsistent. Northampton, I think you're definitely going to beat them. Reading, Bradford, maybe some tough games there. Blackpool, I think's winnable. Barnsley, I think's winnable. Mansfield, AFC Wimbledon as well. Peterborough, be a close game. Exeter and Leyton Orient as well. I mean, if you have a look at those, I mean, on paper, you should be getting at least 5-6 wins on paper, probably more. And then that'd probably take you up to over 50 points, which I think come the end of the season, you will be around maybe a bit higher than you are now. I'd probably say around 15th, 16th, which I don't think anyone had predicted at the start of the season. So I think the games you've got, I think they're in your favour, because you haven't even got any of the top 3 that and you've got teams that are mostly mid-table, and you've still got Northampton to play, who are absolutely awful. So I think that you'll comfortably stay up this season.
Sorry to touch on that. I was just going to say to you, mate, in a way, it's a shame. We are playing a lot more of the bigger teams, because we actually perform better against the bigger teams and actually tend to beat them or draw against them and not really lose against them this season. So, I'll be honest, I think Wickham is so winnable on the weekend. I know they've not lost at home in a while, but I genuinely think with Tyree Shade in our team and the captain leadership of Godwin Malife, we can beat anyone in this division. I really do. And Andy Cannon in that midfield, who's been unbelievable. He has to start at the weekend. I'll be quite annoyed if Bowyer doesn't start him. He's been brilliant, and he's showed why the last few performances off the bench in the second half. Well, early in the second half when he's come on in them, he's changed the game in every single one. And but fingers crossed, mate.
Yeah, and I'll be rooting for Burton as well as Vale, second favourite team in the league.
Is that because of me though? That's because of me though, isn't
it? Maybe. Yeah, it is. So bit stuck for time, so we are just gonna pop on the league table, talk about a couple individual teams, then we'll go on to our predictions for the upcoming games on Saturday. And what I'm thinking of doing is, from now up until the end of the season, if we get a score correct, that's a point. And I think whoever has the most points come the end of the season wins. So that'll be something fun to do.
Yeah.
And if you want to get along, predicting everyone in the live chat, because this will be out as a premiere, feel free to do so. So, where do you want to start? Because I mean, there is a a few teams that do stand out, but where would you want to start, Harry?
Why, in terms of just like how they've done recently, or
Yeah, what are the standout teams?
see, for me, I would have said Plymouth Argyle, but they lost last night in the Virtue Trophy in that massive game at Kenilworth Road, where it
Yeah,
was a big game for both sides. I mean, Argyle, could they push for a playoff place come the end of the season? They have a chance, but maybe after that loss against Luton, they might be on low confidence again. So it'd be interesting to see how they bounce back from that. Uh, I'll be
Zach, have you
honest,
got
probably.
any?
Yeah, it's between the champions, between Lincoln City and Cardiff.
Yeah, that one does point out, doesn't it? I think that one
Yeah,
will come down to the end of the season.
yeah,
Obviously, Cardiff losing the last game as well.
yeah.
Lincoln winning, it really does tighten everything up. They both
I
played the
think,
same amount of games as well.
yeah, I think after of Cardiff lost to Plymouth, I think Lincoln could be champions.
Yeah, potentially. I think obviously
Yeah,
Plymouth were being in good form as well. That would have obviously given them a massive confidence boost. Well, obviously, as you say, Harry, with obviously them losing to Luton in a big game, which could have taken them to Wembley, then I think maybe confidence might have dropped. And if we have a look who they're playing, they are playing Rotherham. So I mean,
Just that to be, didn't it? Bloody hell.
you forgot about that one.
Oh,
I mean,
jeez.
if they don't beat Rotherham, yeah, you're not getting playoffs. It's as simple as that.
100%.
I'm interested in the teams that are around mid-table that are kind of potentially maybe have a little push for the top six. For me,
like Bolton.
Bolton. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, they're third. Bolton are pushing for automatics,
Yeah,
aren't they? 10 points, and they've played one more than both the top two. I think I would probably put my money on stop.
I think, I'll be honest, mate, I think Lincoln would really, really have to mess up, though, for any team to really have a
Yeah,
chance at it now. I think it's too much of a points gap at this point. And I
yeah,
think, I'll be honest, I think Lincoln deserve. Obviously, I've said Burton Albion, so I'm not going to go over it because I think we are one of the teams this week that have been one of the teams in the EFL in terms of results within this last week. But I think Lincoln City deserve a massive, huge credit for
yeah,
their wins recently as well. People doubted them this season whether they drop off or not. It could have potentially looked like it at one stage, but they were resolute and they got back to sticking to what they're known to be good at this season. And that's even if they were grinding out wins or winning quite comfortably. And yeah, their last couple of performances in terms of results and stuff, really, really big. And I think it does cement them finishing second come the end of the season. Now I really do.
yeah. And as I say, with obviously Bolton, the last three games they've dropped 6 points, and I mean you can't be going and drawing three games. If you want a chance at that top two, it's got to be consistent. And Bradford, I just don't see Bradford getting in the top two. As for Stockport as well, because I think they're too inconsistent. Like with Huddersfield as well, I just don't think they can be touched unless Lincoln or Cardiff go on a really bad run. I think they'll be our top two come end of the season.
Yeah.
As for the relegation scrap, not much has really changed. Because there was only 3 games that have been played last night. I think Mansfield look like they might be coming into it. Haven't won in 5, potentially more. It just says 5 on here. So yeah, they're creeping down the table quite quickly, and obviously with this league being so tight, you know, if Exeter lose, 3 games in a row, then they could be looking at 19th, 20th, just like that. It can
Yeah.
change that quick, and I think that this year for League One has been really interesting. I think that top two battle. I think the scrap to get in the top 6 as well, because obviously Huddersfield being inconsistent, as well, which opens it up for for these teams. Potentially put Peterborough in there, but doesn't look likely. And obviously the big relegation scrap. So I can't wait to see who does get in the bottom four come end of the season. Fingers crossed it's not Vale and Burton.
Yeah, 100%.
So we are going to go on to the predictions.
Oh, predicted all the games, yeah.
Yeah, all the games. So
Yeah.
got about 10 minutes ish, so try and
Yeah.
go through these quite quickly. So two 12:30 kickoffs, starting with Leyton Orient versus Barnsley. Thoughts on that one and score predictions? Zach, we'll start with you.
I think it's going to be the draw, like 1-1 maybe.
1-1 draw.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, what are your thoughts on that one, Robbie, and the score prediction?
You know what? It's an intriguing one. I mean, if Leyton Orient lose this, they could be in real shit, to be fair.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think they do, to be honest, for their sakes. Unfortunately, I do think they do. I'll go for Leyton Orient 0, Barnsley 2.
Interesting prediction, that. And I do think, obviously, with Barnsley being out of form, if they do lose, then yeah, I think that's just a terrible result. And with it being at home as well. In my score prediction, it's an interesting one, but I'm going to go 3-1 Barnsley for that one. So all us two, me and Harry, quite on the same page. Zach gone for a draw.
Yeah.
Northampton
Town, Peterborough. Peterborough not being in brilliant form the past 3 games. Obviously playing a really poor Northampton side. Score predictions, we'll start with Harry.
Oh, wow. Can Kevin Nolan somehow get a result in this one? Do you know what? I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1. Oh, that's interesting, that. Zach, what's your prediction for this one?
I'm going to go for a 1-0 Peterborough win.
1-0, scrappy 1-0 victory.
Yeah.
These on our line. For me, I think Northampton, they haven't been scoring goals. They don't look a threat at all going forward. And I think Peterborough, they're low on confidence right now. But I do think it'll either be a 1-0 scrappy win for Peterborough or a 0-0. I am going to go 0-0 for this one. As I just can't see Northampton scoring, and with Peterborough not being in great form the past 3 games, I think potentially Northampton can get a point, a much needed point. Wickham versus Burton. We've got to start with Harry on this one. Score prediction, mate.
Obviously, I reiterate, like I said not too long ago, they have got good home form. But we come into this game in really good form. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw. However, I'm going to be confident and go for the scoreline I've thought ever since last night coming home from the Stockport game. And that is Wickham 0, Burton Albion 2. And Tyree Shea to score both goals.
Interesting prediction. That is another brilliant result if that were true. If that prediction did come in, absolutely massive result that'd be. Zach, what's your prediction for this one?
Oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings here. I'm going to go for Wickham 2, Burton 1.
Oh,
I can't see that, to be fair.
Man.
I can't see it, to be honest.
My prediction, I'm going to go a bit more positive. I'm going to go 2-2 for the game. I think you'll get a 94th minute winner.
94.
Oh, mate. The limbs away at Luton were enough,
Equaliser,
man.
sorry.
The limbs for the equaliser at Luton were enough. Oh, mate.
Imagine.
Oh.
Right, we're going to go on to Doncaster Cardiff. And
Ooh.
go on, Zach, you like the sound of that game.
Yeah, I
What's
do.
your prediction?
Where's Doncaster on the table?
Doncaster are now 18th.
18th. Alright.
Won the last 2 games.
I'm going to go for a 4-2 Cardiff win.
Oh, wow. Bold prediction. 4-2. Harry, what's your prediction for the game?
Do you know what? This is a real banana skin for Cardiff, and Doncaster have proved that they can win games against decent sides. And if they do lose this Cardiff and Lincoln win, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Lincoln went on and won the league. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. Doncaster 2, Cardiff City 1.
Wow. Some interesting predictions here. So, So we've got 2-1. And we've got 4-2. Cardiff, Zach, was that?
Yeah, 4-2 Cardiff.
Yeah. I'm going to go a bit more low scoring to Zach's. I think it'll be quite a close game. I don't know how Cardiff will bounce back from that loss. And Doncaster, they're picking up wins, especially, and I'll be in a bit more confidence as well going into the game. I'm gonna go for tough one. I'm gonna go for a 1-0 Cardiff win. Yeah, I just think they'll edge it.
I could see that's fair. I could actually see it being very scrappy in Cardiff, like nicking it or something like that, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, I would want Cardiff to win as well, considering the position Doncaster in, fighting around the relegation zone as well. Lincoln Blackpool. This is a really interesting one. Let's start with Harry.
Interesting game. Can Ashley Fletcher cause havoc at Lincoln? I think he might a little bit, but I don't think it'll be enough. I'll go for Lincoln 3, Blackpool 1.
3-1. Fair enough. Zach, what's your prediction for the game?
I think it's going to be like scrappy game.
Yeah.
Gonna go for a 0-0.
Sorry, what was that, Zach?
0-0.
0-0.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. I'm going to go at 2-0 Lincoln win for the game. And let's move on to Wigan Huddersfield. This is an interesting one, actually. Huddersfield really need to win this. Harry, let's start with you.
Oh, mate, I'm just remind myself of Huddersfield's last game. Ooh, they only won 2-1 against Barnsley. Oh, mate, this could go either way, to be honest. And Joe Taylor's on really good form for Wigan, to be fair, who's on loan. Oh, actually, he won't be able to play, will he? Yeah, he won't be able to play because he's on loan. Ooh.
Oh, yeah?
What was
the rules now, aren't they?
What did you say, mate? Was it a Wigan against Huddersfield?
Yeah, Wigan Huddersfield.
I'll go for Wigan 0, Huddersfield 1. I think Huddersfield just edge it.
Ooh, interesting. Zach, your thoughts on that one?
I'm going to go for a Wigan 1, Huddersfield 3.
Ooh, interesting. So we've got, And what was yours, Zach? Sorry, 3-1.
3-1 Huddersfield win.
Yeah, 3-1 Huddersfield. I think it'll be an interesting game. Huddersfield really need to win. And as for Wigan, they also really need to win to try and lift themselves out of the relegation zone. I don't really want Wigan to win, as obviously where they are in the table. And I do think Huddersfield will win quite comfortably, actually. I'm going to go, my first crazy prediction, I'm going to go 4-0 Huddersfield.
Wow.
Oh God, they're away. Kind of regret that now they're away, but I am. I've put it now. Stevenage, Stockport. Wow, this is, in my opinion, that's probably the pick out of the bunch in terms of the most interesting game. Your thoughts, Zach?
Oh, I'm gonna go for a 3-3 draw.
3-3.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow, that is a crazy prediction. But I could see it happening. To be fair.
Yeah.
What about you, Harry?
Do you know what, mate? Stockport play anything against like they did against us, I think they'll get beat.
Yeah.
I couldn't see a draw. I can't see Stockport winning for some reason. Never know though. They might bounce back and surprise everyone and just absolutely destroy Stevenage. But with all that being said, I'll go for Stevenage 2, Stockport 1.
Wow. I mean, that would not be good for Stockport if they did lose that one.
I even said they'd finish third. I've seen them last night. No way they finish in third.
This one for me, as I did say, I think it is the most interesting one, with obviously Stevenage, looking to try get into that top 6, and obviously they are going a bit inconsistent. Obviously Stockport having that really bad loss to the Brewers, I think that might have not made the confidence very good, and I think that they will be low on confidence going into the game. I don't think Stevenage are a team that score many goals. 35 scored, and that's the least in the top 14 teams. That is the least. I think it'll be a low scoring one. I'm going to go a draw. I'm going to go 1-1. Moving on to the worst team in the league, Rotherham up against Plymouth. I'm going to start with Harry for this one.
I mean, in terms of obviously Plymouth losing at Luton, obviously where Rotherham are, this has potential to be like the worst game this weekend, I've got to be honest. I mean, regardless obviously of what happened at Luton for Plymouth, they've surely got to beat Plymouth. I mean, if they don't, that's crazy. I mean, Plymouth have surely got to beat Rotherham. I mean, if Plymouth don't, that's crazy. I think because of their striking power, Plymouth, you know what? And I think, this more massively just confirm Rotherham down to League 2. Go for Rotherham 0, Plymouth 3.
Yeah, I think if they did lose this quite comfortably, if Plymouth did win this quite comfortably, then I do think that Rotherham will probably be down come end of the season. Zach, what is your prediction for the game?
I think it's going to be a tough game for both sides.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Rotherham 1, Plymouth 2.
All got a bit more close there with a 2-1 win for Plymouth. As I say, really, I think if Plymouth lose, then I think top 6 is not reachable. So I think this game really does decide if they will get into the top 6 or not. As for Rotherham, I think if they do lose, I don't think it'll be, oh yeah, you're definitely going down. It depends how they play and what the scoreline is. Obviously, if it's 3-4-0 losing to a mid-table team, then I think most likely you are going down. But if it's a 1 or 2-0, I'll give it a few more games. But I do see Plymouth winning, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Plymouth.
I mean, if Rotherham lose, regardless, I think whatever the scoreline is, I think it's a long way back for them. I know it doesn't obviously confirm them going down, but I think it's a long way back in terms of trying to get out of the mess they're in. I really do.
Yeah. And also, just before we go on to the Vale game, just over 500 fans Rotherham took last night for the
500?
Yorkshire derby. I mean, it is about an hour away. I just have to point on that because I think that is really bad.
Yeah, fair.
Obviously, the position they're in, and are expecting at least over 800, with the average about 9,000 in the home stadium as well. So, not brilliant. Just had to kind of point that out, really, because with it being a Yorkshire derby, and Bradford having a good stadium, and not as many as I thought, but fair play to the ones that travelled. So Vale against Luton. We'll start with Zach. Prediction for this one.
It's going to be dead tough because Jack Wilshere is the Luton manager.
Yeah.
I've got things that we can win this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Vale 2.
Yeah.
Luton 0.
Wow, a 2-0 win. Wouldn't that be nice? Harry, what are your thoughts on this one and prediction?
Oh, mate, this is so interesting because obviously, like touched on not too long ago, that obviously they won that Virtue Trophy game against Plymouth. I mean, will that give them confidence, or will they go back to how they've been in the league recently? And that has been dire, to say the least. Vale, a good point against Reading. I thought it would be a close game. I remember I predicted 3-2 Reading in that game. You done well to get a point, especially with Jack Marriott being on fire this season. And obviously, Wing, the player that did score, obviously had a good result against Northampton. Oh, mate, this is actually could be one of the hardest to predict. It's crazy, actually, I'm saying that. But, I mean, when Luton come down to League One, I know they had the back-to-back, but I'll be honest, and it's no offence to you guys, and it's even against, like, us, when they played us, you shouldn't even be thinking of, like, Burton or Port Vale potentially beating a side like Luton Town, but do you know what? I think it's going to happen, mate. You know what? Port Vale 2, Luton Town 1. That's my score prediction.
Wow, wouldn't that be brilliant to win against Luton?
Yeah.
Who have played in the Premier League. This one is really interesting. Vale, obviously, getting that couple of good results. Luton, not doing well at all. Oh, do I go for a draw or win? I'm not gonna put that we're gonna lose because I do think we'll get something out of it. I don't. I'm gonna go 2-1 Vale. I'm gonna go 2-1 Vale.
The only thing I will say is that I think it's a big blow for you guys. I don't know if he's obviously still fit or not because I haven't watched you guys closely. But obviously, I've got Ethan Archer on loan from Luton. I think he'll be a big miss in this game.
I would actually disagree on that one. I think Archer has been terrible.
Really,
to
the
be
only
honest.
reason I say it, obviously, like I say, I haven't watched you guys since our game, but I thought against when you guys played us at your place, obviously like not too long ago, obviously a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, I actually thought he was actually quite good in that game, Ethan Archer. But obviously, like you say, from obviously what you're saying, clearly he hasn't been as influential since.
Yeah, I think he's scared to take people on. I think as a winger, you've got to be able to take people on. and have the confidence to do so and put a decent ball into the box. Every time he put a ball into the box, it wasn't getting any heart to it at all. So yeah, disappointing. But I'll give him a few more games and see if he can improve. But Zach, what was your prediction? Sorry, for the Vale game, was it
Oh,
2
2-0 Vale.
2-0 Vale? Yep, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right, moving on. Mansfield AFC Wimbledon. Wow, this one.
What's the last game?
Sorry.
What's the last game? Is it Mansfield Wimbledon or?
No, there's a couple more after this.
Okay.
Got 2 more.
Oh,
Go on,
fair
Zach, we'll
enough.
start with you. Mansfield AFC Wimbledon. Zach, are you there?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yep, no worries. So Mansfield AFC Wimbledon.
I'm gonna go for 1-0 Mansfield.
Oh, interesting. Harry, what's your prediction for this one?
Interesting game, really interesting game. Credit to Wimbledon for their last resort, especially. I think from memory they did win it. So I think I expect a close game. I expect some goals. So you know what? I'll go for a Desmond. I'll go 2-2.
Oh, 2-2. Yeah, I think it'll be a really close game, to be honest. I think Mansfield are out of form. They need to be picking up points because they are dropping down the table. AFC Wimbledon, I mean, they're doing quite well. They're picking up wins, really important wins. They've got a couple. They've got a couple game in hand over a couple of teams. I think it'll be a draw. Actually, do I just? I'll go 1-0 AFC Wimbledon win. I think they'll nick it. I think that'll be quite a late one as well. 91st minute. Last 2 games now. We're on to Exeter Bolton. Bolton drew the last 3 games. They really need to be getting wins if they really want a chance of getting the top 2. Long journey for Bolton. Start with Harry. What are your predictions for this one?
Echo what you've said, mate. It's fair. They need to win this game. I think they'll have enough to do so. Do I think Exeter will score? Potentially. Or might. I'll go for Exeter 1, Bolton 3.
Interesting. I do actually think Exeter will score today. I mean, on Saturday. I do definitely think they will get a goal. Zach, what's your thoughts on this one and prediction?
I'm gonna go for bit bias, I think.
Go
I'm
on.
gonna go for Exeter 2, Bolton 1.
Oh, do you not like Bolton then?
No.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Because
I rate-
sometimes big teams just be awful against small, awful teams. So
And the fans as well. Do you just
Yeah.
not like the fans? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't even know this. That you didn't like Bolton.
now we know.
Oh, that's got me. That. Exeter. This one's interesting. I do want Bolton to win because I want the race for the top 2 to be interesting, and Exeter in a similar position to Vale as well. So I will go for Bolton on this one. Oh, the 14th, they're higher than I thought actually. Drew the last 4 games. Bolton drew the last 3. So I mean, on paper, it does look like it'll be a draw. And I mean, I think it'll be a close one. Do I go for a draw? I'll go for a I'll go for a 2-1 win for Bolton. I think they'll have enough to win it. And coming on to the last game, Reading, Bradford. Reading, chasing that top six. Bradford trying to cement themselves into the top six, which is what they have to do. Really interesting game. Zach, we'll start with you.
Reading Bradford. Okay. Go for Reading 1, Bradford 2.
Ooh, a 2-1 win. I can see that happening. Very, very realistic. Why does was your last one a 2-1 win, Zach?
Yeah.
Yep, your last. So for some reason it came off. So 2-1. And what did you just predict?
2-1, Bradford win.
Yep, 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1
Sorry,
Bradford win.
my memory's terrible. Harry, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, this could be one of the most important games of the season. Reading, Bradford. I'll be honest, I think Reading, in terms of Jack Marriott and being at home, will get them over the line. Bradford, only just by the looks of it, I haven't watched the games, can't fully comment. But in terms of scoreline, only scraping it past against a very poor Rotherham side. So, with that being said, I'll go for Reading 2, Bradford 0.
Wow, a 2-0 win for Reading, which is, I mean, if Bradford did lose, then, I mean, if we have a look at that league table, if Bradford do lose, Stockport win, they move down to 5th. The relegation battle does come, the top 6 does come a bit more open. Yeah, so I think it'll be an interesting game. A close game, but I think with it being such an important game, I don't really want to go a draw on this one. I do think it'll come down to 1 goal, and I do think that Reading will, have a more chance getting into that top 6 with a massive 2-1 win against Bradford. So I'll just put your 2-1, which, this thing, definitely going to have to get a new, for that, yep, Wade's done. So, just to clarify, just in case I've made any mistakes, Leyton Orient Barnsley, I went for a 3-1 Barnsley, Harry went for a 2-1 Leyton Orient, Zach went for a 1-1 draw. Northampton Peterborough, I went for a 0-0 draw, Harry went for a 1-1 draw, and Zach went for a 1-0 win for Northampton. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Just with the Leyton Orient game, mate. I think I said 2-0 Barnsley.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
Yeah, I think so. No, it's all right. Well, I went 2. I might have said 2. No, I said 2-1 Barnsley. That's what I said.
Oh, 2-1 Barnsley. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way. Right. Wickham Burton. I said 2-2. You said 2-0 Burton. And Zach said 2-1 Wickham. I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Doncaster Cardiff. I went for a 1-0 win for Doncaster. Harry went for a 2-1 win for Cardiff.
No, I went 2-1 Doncaster.
Oh, sorry.
That's all
right. And Zach, 4-2 Doncaster.
Cardiff.
Oh no, this is not looking good.
You've been on the bevies.
Right, right. I'm really happy with just come back. Right, Lincoln, fifth game. Fifth game. Lincoln Blackpool. I said 2-0 Lincoln. You said 3-1 Lincoln, and Zach, you said 0-0. Is that all correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So for Wigan, Huddersfield, I said 4-0 Huddersfield. You said 3-1 Huddersfield. Zach said 3-1 Huddersfield as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. And then Stevenage, Stockport, I said 1-1. Harry said 2-1 Stevenage. And Zach said 3-3. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then Rotherham, Plymouth, I went for a 2-1. I did not go 2-1. That's because we're on the 8th one. I said 2-0 Plymouth. Harry said 3-0 Plymouth. And Zach said 2-1 Plymouth. Port Vale, Luton, I said 2-1 Vale. Harry said 2-1 Vale. And Zach said 2-0 Vale. Mansfield,
Yeah.
AFC, Wimbledon, I said 1-0 Mansfield. Harry said 2-2. And Zach said 1-0 Mansfield as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
And Exeter, Bolton, Harry said 2-1 Bolton. No, sorry. I said 2-1 Bolton. Harry said 3-1 Bolton. And Zach said 2-1 Exeter. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
And the last one, Reading, Bradford. I said 2-1 Reading. Harry said 2-0 Reading. And Zach said 2-1 Reading. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Way.
I got there in the end.
Yeah, sorry if that bored you.
Nah.
God, I bet I have people in the chat saying that's just embarrassing.
Nah, I mean, it reminds them all anyway what our predictions are. Going over it for a
Yeah,
second time.
I'm gonna have
anyway,
to find an app for the predictions.
Yeah.
So it did say that I had an hour and 4 minutes left of streaming. So currently now got 1 minute and 40 seconds left. So we've actually timed it quite well. And it's our tea time soon as well. So thank you for Zach for coming on as well. Obviously didn't come on last week, and we appreciate you coming on this week to give your thoughts.
You're welcome.
And hopefully we'll be seeing you come on as well soon.
Yeah.
And make sure to check if you got any points from the predictions.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously big up to Harry as well for coming on again. Obviously a weekly thing. This will be and I'll text you more about what days it'll be on as well. I'm thinking of doing it every week on one day, on just one day, and then post it so say we film on a Tuesday, we post it on a Wednesday, something like that, and we can have a talk about that.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
And if anyone does want to come on, feel free to just let me know. It'd be really nice to have more people coming on, different fans from different clubs coming on, so that'll be really interesting. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, everyone, and feel free to share the video to anyone that would be interested. Like and subscribe to Harry's channel as well. Feel free to have a go on there, have a watch on there, and yeah, like and subscribe, and up the Vale.
Up the Brewers.